trying to think of the things to roll for.
Are you doing like multiple or just odd and even?
I think odd and even.
Yeah, that's easier. Great.
Maybe you can come up with my number 2.
Yeah, we can do it live. Yeah, I love it.
You can challenge me to something. How about
Yeah,
that?
that sounds great.
It's like truth or dare.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe we should each come up with
Let me put this on. Whoa, crap.
Whoa.
Does it matter what? Oh, this side. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, now we're back.
Yeah. Is this too loud or is it okay?
I
think I'm okay.
Yeah. Whew, take a couple of breaths. I did a lot today already.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cyan, kick us off.
I think we're alone.
I think we're alone now.
There doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. Something. We just learned the lyrics to this song. And suddenly we realized the song was a little
sexual.
We didn't know. You have to believe us. It was innocent.
I love it. I love it. Well, today's a fun day.
It is. It is.
Well, before we kick off, do you want to intro us in, or how do you want to?
Yeah,
Great.
I guess so. I'll go into this camera.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cyan Banister. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Wang, and you are tuning in. How do you do this? You are watching Reframe.
Yeah, that's
You're
good.
listening
that's
to
good.
Reframe.
You're listening to Reframe. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cyan Banister. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Wang, and you are listening or watching Reframe, a show where we delve into thoughts, ideas, pieces of art, or whatever, something that you experienced that you were one person before you heard it or saw it, and then a different person the next.
That's good. That was great. Why don't we do one this way, and then I'll do one, and then we'll kick it off.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Reframe. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Reframe. I'm Cyan Banister. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Wang, and you're listening to a show that explores ideas that reframe your life.
That's
I'm
great.
bad at this.
That's great. Here,
This is why I let you do it.
Okay, I'll do one. Great.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. My name is Mike. I'm with my co-host, Cyan Banister. Our show is about exploring how people experience time differently. We are curious to learn about how people use a reframe to literally reshape how they think and experience everything around them. Enjoy. Great.
Awesome.
All right. Well, it's just you and I today, Cyan.
Yeah, no guests.
Yeah. Well, we are the guests.
We are
each other's guests.
We get to be each other's guests.
We are. Yeah. We were always. Everything we needed was already in front of us.
Nice. Nice.
Well, we're gonna start with our classic opening meal. The appetizers are just checking in, and normally we've asked ourselves, what are three feelings you're feeling?
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna change it up a little, change cuisines a little bit. Same question, but what is most alive for you right now? I'll answer as well. It could be a word, it could be 3 words. Yeah, what's most alive for you in this moment?
Right now it's fresh air. So I just got over a cold, and it reminded me of one time I was in the hospital, and I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and I came out, and the very first thing that I experienced was a burst of air coming through the door when I left waiting for my Uber. And I was so grateful and so thankful for air. And driving here today, I've been in my house for a week. I was so thankful the moment I stepped outside, and I was like, wow, air is pretty awesome. So that's where I'm living right now. I'm living in the simplicity of air. How about you?
Beautiful. Wow. Simplicity of air.
Simplicity of air.
And the most precious thing we have.
Right? It's pretty precious. Water, air.
Yeah.
It really focuses you on what's important.
Yeah. Were you pretty stuffed up or?
Oh man. Oh man.
How bad is that?
It was bad. It was so bad. And I'm a miserable sick person.
Yeah.
I'm one of these people that like forgets to take Tylenol, forgets to like take care of myself.
Yeah.
And then, my husband will have to check on me and take care of me because I'm helpless.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you at night? If you at night, you're stuffed up. Do you just get like, do you have that? Like, am I ever going to fall asleep because I can't breathe?
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah. I do the whole thing where you prop up all the pillows and create a ramp,
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
a whole sleep ramp situation.
Yeah.
You prop everything up. And also I'm time shifted because I got back
Yeah.
from Bhutan.
Yeah.
And then normally you're supposed to keep yourself awake so that you can readjust. But because I was sick, I just let myself sleep whenever. And so probably last night was the first night I got up some normal sleep, a good 8-hour stretch where I didn't wake up at 3 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
And I love this question because what people don't know is that Mike and I went to something called Mystical Magical Musical Monday, which you can't know what it is unless you come with us.
Yeah.
If you'd like to come, you should let us know.
Mm-hmm.
But we went in one of the questions that you asked of the mystery people was what's alive with you today? And it actually brought someone to tears because they really thought about it and it really hit them.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how that made you feel.
It made me feel really connected to that person. Yeah, just one of those things where when it is truly, the question is designed, and I'll share the intention of the feeling shifting from that. Because sometimes when I'm asked, what am I feeling? That pressure, my brain goes numb a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I can't
tap into that right now.
Tap into that. And when I think of the question, what's most alive, it almost, for me at least, it had felt more consumable. So I was like, oh, I know what's alive for me right now. And it just, that in itself was a reframe from feeling to aliveness, but the same thing. So when I asked that question, I could see for these two people and this one woman.
I think you reframed her life.
I reframed her
Yeah.
life and the way she experienced that question.
I felt it. I think the whole audience felt it because she started crying and she's like, that's such a beautiful question.
Yeah. Yeah. So I felt really connected to her and proud and, I almost didn't ask the question. I think I felt, I know that I have a little bit of a collective, don't take up space. I'm happy always to take up space. And I'm like, I wonder if someone else is going to ask a question. Let me not lift. So it was a very, again, positive, but people pleasing mindset. So I was like, maybe I won't ask the questions, wait for someone else. And I'm really proud that I was like, no, I'm going to take up this space and I'm going to ask this question because that question actually felt the most alive in me at that moment.
Yeah.
So kind of in the Cyan Banister school of presence, that question behooved itself to be asked, and maybe she was hoping for that question to be asked. So that made me feel really connected to her.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
So what's alive in you today besides that?
I would say I'll go with what's truest. There's I would say when I think of joy and lightness and like light upness, and I'll tell you why. There's a guy, I forget his name. He's a Broadway actor. He was in Hades Town. He's like Hades, I think, in Hades Town or something, where he's the narrator. And he has like these 3 mottos in life to live by. And the first rule is surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when they see you walking towards them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And it's a light upness. And I think I felt both ways. I think, again, you'd been out and traveling, and I don't know, I felt yours light. I felt my eyes light up seeing you for the Mystical Monday thing. And I felt joy and happiness about this thing that we're creating. So joy and light upness is sort of what is most present for me.
I'm going to write that one down, light upness.
Yeah. And that was what I felt. Yeah. So that was what's most present. Yeah.
That's
and,
wonderful.
and we want to surround ourselves with people whose eyes light up when we walk towards them. And
I lit up the moment I came down the street with the car and I saw you in the street.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You were like, Mike. That's right. Yeah. So I felt that too. So I think that's what's alive for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah. I remember the other 2 rules is the second quote that this guy has is slowest is the fastest way to get to where you need to go. Slowly, not slowest. Slowly is the fastest way that you can get to where you need to go. And it's more about patience, but that's one piece. And the other is something about like a mountaintop, like when you get to the mountaintop, know that is the bottom of the next hill that you're going to climb, So, but the first one is the best.
The first one is the best. And this reminds me of a little thought experiment I like to do, which is when you hear a phrase that's commonly used, like something is better than nothing. We hear that all the time, right? What if nothing is better than something? Or when people say it's all downhill from here, like, is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Or is it a bad thing? Because it seems like if you've climbed a mountain and it's just easy and you can just go down, or you've got momentum, like maybe momentum is a good thing.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one that, I come up with them all the time. And if I hear somebody saying something, I try to turn it around. And I'm just like, well, it's kind of like the less is more.
Yeah. Yeah. I like, that would be I know you're not a overly skeptical, but it's sort of your brain playing like, what is the opposite? What if the opposite were true?
Yeah, what if the opposite were true? And in many cases, it turns out it is. Sometimes nothing is way better than something.
Yeah, totally.
Way, way better. I made lists of things that were nothing, where it's way better than the alternative, or something which is obviously more than zero would be worse.
Yeah, interesting.
And it turns out a lot of things are worse than nothing. So, and also being in a space of nothingness can be a very beautiful thing. It's scary for a lot of people, but
Totally.
it can be
Why?
incredibly beautiful.
Why?
Well, I think, and this will probably tie into what we're going to talk about today with Bhutan, is it's one of the goals. I'll go to a phrase that I heard recently, which is enlightenment is the space between thoughts. Right? So one of the things they strive for is mental sort of control of one's thoughts and emotions.
Yeah.
So that you can basically walk down a middle path, is what they call it. And when you stray from that, let me go back to the question. Sorry.
It's okay.
I had a point I wanted to make here, Mike.
Yeah. You're good.
No, let's go back to what we were talking about before. So rewind for me.
Which part?
I don't know. Start anywhere. This is part of the fun.
We're talking about the opposite game. Sort of why you gain this version of oppositeness, and why you think of the opposite of it. So.
Yeah, I don't even know where I was going with
It's
it.
okay.
I lost that train.
It's okay.
That train left the building. Okay. We should probably just keep that in because it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. No,
I had something important I was going to say, and it'll come to me later.
It'll come back.
It'll come to me later.
Yeah.
But I was going somewhere.
First of all, this is a messy. To link, I believe there's the way there's edge in the discomfort. There's a lot of beauty and wisdom in the messy. So we're getting messy, and we'll see what manifests.
I had a point, but you got to cut me some slack. I got some brain fog here going.
No, you're good.
It's not COVID. Stress. It's not long COVID. I don't know what this is, but
yeah, no stress.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk.
It's perfectly normal, people, to lose your thought.
To lose your thought. I mean, that happens to everybody.
Happens to everyone. Every day. We're not perfect.
Well, my thing for you is, why don't we start with synchronicities? So, how
I've got a good one.
Yeah. What since we last sat here, what are the synchronicities that you've experienced?
So, full disclaimer for those that are listening, that are the scientists among us, I am not prescribing that these mean anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they happened.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Okay.
And so I keep a journal anytime these types of things happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually trying to be a little bit like a scientist in this regard, where I want to see if there's a commonality between these things, or like, what can I glean from it, if anything? And maybe you'll just look at my journal and think I'm a crazy person. That's fine too. But at our housewarming party for Long Journey Ventures, we had a tarot card reader.
Yeah.
And I was, in there early because I wanted to get in before the line started. And so I asked the reader a question. And the question was, there's a friend in my life that I really, really miss, who's been gone from my life for a while. And what do I do with the feelings of missing them? And will I see them again? And so she shuffled the cards, and then she had me draw one card. And the card that I drew was the Hierophant, which is number 5. It has a numeral 5 on it.
Okay.
And I didn't know what that meant, but she said to me, is this friend of yours kind of like a spiritual guide or teacher to you? Is this somebody who's older?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, it is. And she said, well, what if I told you that your role right now is to let him go and to become the Hierophant? Basically, the student now needs to become the teacher.
Mm.
And so I looked at her and I said, well, I guess that would kind of make sense. And she said, well, think on it, because you need to lose your attachment to him.
Mm.
And then you stand a chance of him returning. So regardless of what you think of it, it's a pretty good lesson, because holding on to attachments is basically a form of self-harm in a lot of ways. Mm. And one of the things they teach about in Bhutan, which hopefully I don't lose my train of thought on this one.
No, you're good.
But anyway, 2 days later on a Friday, so our party I think was on a Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
On a Friday, I was going to...
Wednesday.
Yeah, Weird Wednesday. I was going to go pick up this monk suit that I designed with one of our portfolio companies, Flair.
Yeah.
And I was early. And so I was like, well, since I'm early, I'm just going to go into Heath Ceramics. They have this little gift shop.
Uh-huh.
And at the checkout counter, they had these watercolor tarot cards. And so I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I just picked up the first card and it's the Hierophant? So they had this sort of advertising card on the top, which advertised that it's for watercolor. And so I pick it up, and sure enough, it's the Hierophant, first card, which should not be the first card. So I actually bought the deck and took it home and opened it just to see if every first card is the Hierophant, just to see. Because again, anytime this stuff happens, I run all these experiments. Mm-hmm. And it was not. It was in its place at number 5. And so I thought, well, that's kind of weird. And I had a witness with me. My assistant Jordan was with me.
Yeah.
And so then we went and got coffee. When we ordered the coffee, the order number was 555. So I was like, okay, well, anytime the quote unquote universe is slapping in your head like this, it's like, well, I'll take a note and I'll journal it. And then we picked up the monk suit, and I ordered an Uber to go back home. And Jordan pokes me, and I go, what? And he goes, look what time we're arriving back at your house.
Oh my God.
5:55. So I thought, obviously your ego kicks into place, and it's like, if this meant anything, what could it mean?
Yeah, totally.
Well, my name was supposed to be 5 when I was born. My mom really, really wanted to name me 5. And so I thought, well, maybe it has something to do with my mom. Maybe it has something to do with my name. I don't really know. And then my middle name is Star, and spelled Starr with 5 letters. And a star has 5 points when you usually depict it, when you draw it. So my mom snuck in the number 5 anyway. And so my full name, before I was married, means blue star light. So I thought that was really interesting. So I just noted it all down. And then, of course, my ego tried to make it about this friend that I missed, that it had to have something to do with him, right? Because of the card. And, well, I went to Bhutan, and I met a lot of monks, and I met a lot of people, and I thought that I was going to have some really interesting revelations in the monasteries. Yeah. And I actually had my biggest revelation with one of the tour guides. So there's this strange animal that they have there that is like a mixture between a goat and a cow.
Kind of want to make up what that animal's called, but keep going.
It starts with a T. I should know it. But anyway, it starts with a T. And it's a strange animal.
I was thinking like a coat or a gal. I was going to keep going. I'm just combining words.
It's like
keep going.
Takik or something. I don't know, some strange name. I should have paid attention to that.
No, you're good.
I was far more interested in the guide, because once you saw the animals and they are interesting, I was like, wow, I have this person who's obviously very wise that I've really enjoyed seeing on this trip.
Totally.
And he seems very spiritually grounded, very aware, very mindful. And you can just tell in someone's eyes when they're just very curious about the world, and you could tell he was. And this is my new friend Pema. And so I asked him about Buddhism, and he gave me my first lesson in Buddhism. I've read about Buddhism, but more of a Western view of it. So it was really nice to have someone who practices it, who's immersed in it, who's in the center of where it comes from. Yeah. And I had this remarkable talk with him. And then over the next few days, we had more and more. And every time that we could find a moment in between, he would come over and tell me about mantras that I can use, or, how to manage emotions. And so I asked him the question, what do you do when you miss someone? And he says, well, life is impermanent, and they believe in reincarnation. So they believe that you're never separated.
Mm.
So that concept of separation is just not a thing. And we're all one. And so there's no point in missing somebody. It's futile and it's a form of suffering. And so their whole job is to overcome suffering. And so he's like, why would you commit an act of self-suffering? So at some point I was delighted because he invited me over to his house. And to get invited by a local to their house is probably one of the highest amounts of praise you can receive. And I couldn't come to dinner because the night that he asked me to go to dinner, I was giving a talk. So I went for breakfast in the morning or some tea. And I got to meet his wife and his little baby. And I was sitting there and I noticed he had these beautiful prayer beads. And I'm wearing them on his altar. And I said, those are really beautiful, Pema. And he looked at me and he held them for a moment and then he handed them to me. And I was like, what are you doing? I thought he was just wanting me to touch them. And he said, I am the 4th generation to own these, and now you are
The 5th.
the 5th.
Okay.
And so I looked at him and I said, 5? And he said, yeah. And I said, what does 5 mean in Buddhism? And he goes, well, it's the most important number. And he starts walking me through like all of these 5 things in Buddhism, which I still need to learn about.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough yet to even speak of it. But he handed me what I think is a precious heirloom that he didn't choose to give to his sons.
Wow.
He gave to me.
Wow.
And I was overwhelmed with emotion. And I realized that my hierophant is Pema. And the person I needed to meet is him. And we have a lot to teach each other. You know, I have a lot to teach him about Western stuff, and he has a lot of things to teach me about Eastern stuff. And in between, we're the same.
Yeah.
And
What is similar?
we're just so similar.
But what have you had to define it?
We both look at the world with wonder and awe. We're both kind. We both seek to be the kindest we can possibly be. And we have different methods of getting there, but we recognized it in each other's eyes, that our energy is the same. Now, from his point of view, we're from the same family. We reincarnated in this lifetime together, and we were meant to meet in Bhutan. From my point of view, you know, if we want to get a little woo, our energy matches. There's something, we're at parity. And that could be because we're in the same place in our mindfulness practice, and we recognizes like. Like, I think every person's a mirror, and when you see yourself in a mirror, you're like, whoa, you either don't like what you see or you like what you see. And in this instance, I loved what I saw. And he also loved what he saw. And so now we talk every day, and he messages me when it's time for prayer, because he prays every day. And he's been sending me information about Buddhism every day and breaking down some concepts for me, which has been really incredible. And the best part of the story, it's already great. But he just casually drops on me one afternoon when we're talking that he's in 10 years, because I asked him if I could bring him to the United States. I want everybody to meet him. And he says, well, you only have 10 years, Cyan. And I said, why? And he goes, well, in 10 years, I pack up all my stuff and give it away, and then I wander into the forest, never to return. I'm going to go live in a cave, seeking enlightenment. And so I said, wow, you want to do this? And he goes, yeah, no, it's my calling. It's what I'm meant to do. And I said, well, will you ever return? And he said, only if I have a revelation or an insight that hasn't been shared, or I have something to teach. Like if I can come back and I have something I can share with the world, if I can make the world a better place, if I can improve people's lives, then I will come back.
Wow.
And that form of sacrifice really defines Bhutan. So everyone that I met there thinks about the world and sometimes thinks about it more than they think about themselves, which is pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my synchronicity.
Wow.
It blew me away. I remember holding the beads thinking that I'm the 5th person to have these.
Yeah. What does it feel in you to, I mean, you are both making meaning out of these signs that you're getting, and there is something magical, and you're seeing the signs, something being communicated to you, maybe.
It feels like
what
something
does it feel?
is.
Yeah, what does it feel like for you?
So, again, human beings are meaning machines.
Yeah.
But I obviously was seeking something, and then I was revealed the number 5.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So after that, maybe I wouldn't have noticed anything, except for I was primed for the number 5. And it keeps showing up. And so obviously my mind is like, well, this must mean something. Now it may mean nothing.
Yeah.
But it made the encounter with Pema and what happened 1,000 times more meaningful when
Deeper.
it happened. And it was very, very deep.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing was, one of the biggest questions I had going into Baton, there's 2, but one of the biggest ones was, I asked every single monk, when you experience coincidences or synchronicities, what does it mean? What do you do with this information? Like, how are you supposed to act when it happens? And every single one of them either said, I don't know, I'll refer you to someone who does. And usually I would go up to a master monk or a lama. I eventually met a lama.
Oh, wow.
And the lama said, you're basically on the right path. It's a sign that you're walking the middle line, the razor's edge, and you're doing it right. You're having right thought, right action, right speech. And
it's like a good black cat from the Matrix. Like, it's
kind
like
of.
reminding. It's like
Yeah,
a
it's
glitch.
just a reminder. It's just a glitch.
Good, it's like something positive. I mean, the black cat was kind of negative, I know, but
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah.
Interestingly, they don't seem to assign a lot of meaning to it or attachment.
Oh, interesting.
They're just like, it will increase the more mindful you become. So it actually accelerates to the point where it becomes natural and you don't even think about it anymore. You're just like, of course, that's happening, of course.
Oh,
And
interesting.
it's not that you lose your marvel in it. It's just that it becomes your everyday experience where synchronicities
like
and
breathing.
coincidences, it's like breathing. It becomes like breath.
Like air.
And all it is to them is that you are enlightened. So seeing these things doesn't mean you're enlightened. It means you're on the path. Now, if your whole life becomes one big coincidence all the time and you can predict things, whatever, maybe you're enlightened at that point. I tried to get to the bottom of what it even means to be enlightened.
Yeah. What is that definition?
Yeah, what is the definition of that? But, and then I also asked every one of them about the missing, when you long for something and you're missing somebody, what do you do? And they all had the exact same answer, which was, that's a form of attachment and self-suffering, and you should just cut it out, detach. And they make it sound so easy. All of these things sound so easy.
Detach because it doesn't serve you?
Doesn't serve you.
Okay.
What can you do about it?
It's energy that is not poorly spent.
It's poorly spent. And if you could channel it into something far more positive, like when you miss somebody, why not just go out and be kind to a stranger?
Yeah.
Why not go out and smile more? Why not give a gift? Why not, because, or pretend that all the people in the world are the person you miss, which is something I've been practicing, which is everyone who smiles at me, I smile at them and my missing friend.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's how I deal with it. And so it's probably one of the things that I have off and on over the past couple of years been suffering with, that I've been battling with and
holding on to or things.
And I think the biggest lesson in Baton was to let go of him.
Wow.
Just let go.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Hieroglyph?
The Hierophant.
Hierophant.
The Hierophant.
Okay. I don't know my tarot cards well.
I don't either. I'm learning one card encounter at a time, the Hierophant. I know the Fool, because I think if you were to define me, I am the Fool. I have a long ways to become a Hierophant. I'm more of a fool.
Wow. That is really powerful. What I'm taking away of what you're sharing in that story is, well, I had a thought that was, how many other 5s might you not have, not from a place of scarcity, like you should have seen them, but if those were the 5 that you noticed between Tarot Hierophant reveal to meeting Pema, how many 5s did you not see?
How many did I not see?
Hidden in plain sight. That were,
I'm sure there were plenty.
Guiding you. That were the synchronicities, the reminding you're on the razor's edge.
Or if I hadn't drawn that card, there might have been just as many 5s and I wouldn't have noticed them.
Yeah.
But because I primed myself to notice them, I noticed them.
Yeah.
And
wow.
But it doesn't matter at the end of the day if it means something or doesn't mean something. I was given a cherished gift and I met a amazing friend. And, you know, if I choose to add more meaning to that friendship than other people would prescribe, then oh well.
Wow.
Oh well. I see no harm in it.
Wow. Beautiful. I love it. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
And I also like, again, we had no rules on this show. I love that we're just infusing who needs, you know, a sequenced meal. So I want to encourage you to keep infusing your Bhutan stories as well.
Okay, yeah.
This is
I know
natural.
we were going to get into it more later.
This is great. And so make it on or not, I want to invite you to, before I experience you as like self in your head about the brain fog. And I want to say, that's a little voice in your head. That doesn't serve you.
Well, the funny thing is I'm going to listen to it later and then I'll know exactly where I was because I can't replay it right now.
Yeah.
And then I'll call you up and I'll be like, Mike, I finally figured out what I was going to say.
You saying that makes me feel, I'm like, it's fine that you had it. Let it, discard the heaviness or whatever it is that was. You're like, oh, I should have remembered. So it's just an invitation.
Some of the people that I look up to the most on stage, I've seen them do this and they just sort of like, where was I? Oh yeah, that thought. Oh well.
Yeah, that's exactly how I experienced it. I'm like, oh well, and then we're off to the next.
Yeah.
That was a great synchronicity, and I love that was a much chewier synchronicity story.
This was a chewy one.
That was a healthy dose.
Yeah.
It was a healthy dose.
How about you?
I have two more dim sum sort of sizings. I've been thinking and trying to embody what you're talking about, energy, being more conscious of the energy that I am holding and putting out, and remembering when I have even thinking of someone is energy I'm putting out, or wistfulness, or longing, or a memory, and trying to, very much inspired by you and the work we're doing here, trying to, for no desired outcome, but just trying to see the scratch writing, see the dotted line to what happens before and after. Mm-hmm. So I have two small short stories. One is we were in LA. Thank you for letting us use your house to create magical experiences. We were doing a pop-up bookstore experiment. We had everyone bring a book that no longer they need, but that they felt like was meaningful to them. And they brought in a book, and then the goal was you share it, you enroll someone in the idea on it, and then maybe they take it. So it was just like a, idea sharing.
Kind of like a
white elephant for books.
Exactly. But good books.
But good books. Yeah. Exactly. So we had a great experience there. And I had invited him because I had forgotten he was in LA. So a friend of mine, Will, but I'd remembered, I just was thinking of him. He was just in my mind. After the event, I was like, oh man, I wish I'd seen him. I was feeling a little remorse, a little bit of wistfulness. He had come to a previous thing that we had done, and I think I'd probably even scrolled past the picture. He was just on my mind. And I chewed on it a few times, went back home, landed, went inside my house, and then I kid you not, he just texted me he texted me that day. And was like, hey, I just went to this mala, which is like a Szechuan peppery numbing spice in Chinese mala restaurant. I thought of you. It reminds me of the hot sauce, boom sauce that you make. How are you doing? I miss you. And I, pre-Reframe Mike, I wouldn't have thought made 2 chicken nuggets out of it, but I told him right away. I was like, I was literally thinking of you. I was looking at a picture of you, and he was like, which picture was it? And I sent him the picture, and it was just, there's no outcome of it, but it was just a synchronicity. The energy, I don't know, man, the energy I was putting out, maybe he ended up in a mala. I can't really explain it, but it made me feel closer to him and maybe him to me. So that was one.
Have you noticed one commonality in these things? And I keep pulling on this thread.
Yeah, pull.
They all involve love.
Totally. Oh, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point that out, that love seems to be a unifying undercurrent of what these experiences seem to involve.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't yet shared any stories of like, I was really pissed at this person.
Yeah, no.
And then he showed up right in front of my door.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. And the other synchronicity is I was solo parenting. I got to solo parent this weekend. My wife, Arti, she's been deep in childcare. I think she's been slept away from our daughter 3 days out of the last 6 months. So we talked and we are like, great, what does it look like? She also advocated, was like, I need some time. So I was like, great, take the weekend. So she was doing her own thing. She kind of designed her own sojourn in San Francisco.
Nice.
Stayed at a hotel, staycation, refinding her postpartum, who she was pre-postpartum, and I was really proud. I designed the whole day for myself. I was proud. I was also vulnerable. I was like, hey guys, I'm solo parenting. Come visit me, people. Like, I need help.
Help.
So I hung out with people. I felt really happy. I went out to the balloon exhibit out in the Presidio, out in Palace of Fine Arts. And then after that, I met up with my buddy Joe for brunch in the marina. He gave me like 4 different options of places to go to. I waited around for, right after taking our kids to the balloon exhibit, I kind of waited around, sent them off on their road before I left. There was a bunch of things I did, is what I'm trying to say. And then I met up with Joe a little bit early, and we sat down for brunch. And then, you know where the story's going. 10 minutes later, I also took Connie out for my daughter, she was crying, took her around for a walk. We sit down, I'm eating my Eggs Benedict, and Arthi just walks by.
Wow.
From the brunch place that I chose. And she was like, wait, I thought Joe had planned this. And I thought Joe was like, I thought he was like telling Arthi, hey, maybe if you want to see it, maybe Arthi had texted Joe something. But she just walked by out of the entire city, at all the gin joints. I'm getting a little emotional even saying this. Yeah, I was like, how? My energy, was I thinking about her? Was Kahani thinking about her? She went to get a massage nearby, and she just walked by, and she's like, what are you guys doing here? And it's just for me, and I probably was missing her. Again, I'm working to be even more in touch with what I'm feeling. I'm like, maybe I was missing her. I was feeling love for her and what I was doing to create space for the unmother. Maybe we'll talk about the unmother that she was, right? The human beyond the mother that she is. And she just ran into her.
That is amazing.
So that's more than a dumpling. That's a that's a Peking duck for sure.
That's a Peking duck.
So I don't know. I just felt, and then I was like, also we had a good healthy. I was like, okay, Arthi, 5 minutes, great. You go off on. The universe wants us both to be separate. How
did she react to
it? She was also in like, what? I think she's the one who said the gin joint line. I don't think she, and she wasn't intellectualizing it the way we are. Mm-hmm. But I think she was definitely just shocked. She was shocked. She was excited. I think she probably was missing her daughter. So she was, maybe she just conjured this, Yeah. She conjured her daughter back.
So I'm kind of curious, have these been occurring to you, or have you noticed them more? Because again, they always could be occurring. Have you noticed them more, or paid attention to them more, or experienced them more since we started talking about them?
Yeah, I don't know, back to practicing our I don't knows. I think that's, is that Neil Stevens or Andrew Main? One of the two. Maybe it's Neil.
You might be wrong. It was Neil Stevenson.
Okay.
I don't know, I think is coming.
Is coming. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My intuition is saying they're happening more, and maybe because I'm to link to love, I'm like more anchored in my energy and love and all these things. I want to believe they're always happening, and I just didn't put as much gravity. Not again, when I say gravity, I don't mean it's like earth bending energy. It's just like I didn't put as much meaning or significance to it. And I'm not putting I'm second guessing my verbiage because I think it is important.
It is important to remain skeptical.
It's not because I'm trying to be like the universe is changing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that's curious. I love how it's like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's curious.
Pretty curious.
Yeah,
You just reminded me of one.
Okay, great. This is you and I today. This is
great.
No,
you reminded me of one that just happened yesterday. So I love this brand called Farm Rio. I think your wife loves it too.
Yeah. So colorful.
It's a Brazilian colorful brand. And I got this weird idea that I wanted to go check out their site.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see if they were impacted by all these tariffs. and how expensive their clothes have become. And so also they're really known for their crazy, wildly colorful jumpsuits. And I collect jumpsuits. So they usually put out one or two that are really weird a year. One of my favorite ones I have is covered with like the zodiac symbols. I don't know if you've seen me in it, but it's very colorful. And so I was there, and they didn't have any jumpsuits that I liked, but they had this one shirt that was white, and it's a butterfly.
Oh, wow.
And I almost bought it. I was like, I'm going to buy this. And I was like, Cyan, come on now. Like, why are you going to buy that? But it's so beautiful. But come on, Cyan, you don't need another shirt. And I battled with this for a while. And then I finally decided not to. And I walked away from it. And then a few days later, I get a text message from a new friend that I made in Bhutan. And when we were in Bhutan, I was going through an airport, not Haneda, but the other one, Narita. I was going through Narita in Tokyo, and I impulse bought this white sweater. And I didn't know why I bought this white sweater.
Okay.
And as I was repacking my bag, every time we repositioned on our trip, I was cursing the fact that I bought this white sweater. Because I was like, why did I buy this white sweater? But then I met this wonderful woman named Olivia. And she wears nothing but all white. And I knew immediately why I bought the white sweater. I was like, it's for her.
Oh, wow.
So I gave it to her.
Okay.
And I said, Olivia, this shirt, this sweater was meant for you. And she loves it. And she wore it almost every day on the trip.
Wow.
I mean, she loves it so much. It was absolutely meant for her.
Wow.
Well, out of the blue, she messages me yesterday with a picture of that white butterfly top and says, I bought you one of these.
No way.
Yeah. And she says, I have one and you have one.
Okay.
She said, something about it just screamed Cyan when I saw it.
Okay. Wow.
Exactly. What is that? And so she's
What did
also...
you feel at that moment? Or what was it like for you?
Goosebumps. Yeah. I got goosebumps because Olivia and I have this, we immediately, she's the other person that Pema brought over to his house to meet his wife and child.
Wow.
And because I think he also identified in her that she's also very present. She's very spiritual. She's very kind and very loving and very open. And so her and I felt like we had a connection right away and that we understood each other right away. And how she ended up on this trip was actually she heard me talking on Tim Ferriss. And so she went and did some research and Google searched and then found I was associated with the Origins Project and then that they were going on this trip to Bhutan. And so she applied not even knowing if I was going.
Wow.
She had no idea.
Wow.
And so she was surprised when she found out that I was on the trip. And we made this beautiful connection and I love her. So again, it has that love element. Like the love that we have for each other is real and it was instant.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't know what to make of that, but I journal all of them. So I took screenshots and then I went back to my browser history and found where I was looking at it just because I always want evidence.
Yeah, you want evidence.
For all those naysayers out there that I experience all of these things. Now, one could say, okay, well, Farm Rio did a really big advertising push and we're both customers and we were both impacted by it at the same time and yada, yada. You can make every excuse, but the fact that she saw it, knew I would love it and bought it and then just wrote to me and asked for my address to send it to me was really interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you raise a really great point. There is the skeptic in me or the intellect, let's call it, rather than the emotion or the spirit here, being like, yeah, well, it's the Facebook ads, it's the Instagram, it's the campaign that is nudging. Then I still want to believe. Yeah, if I had to close my eyes, what I want to believe, I do want to believe in the energy piece to it.
Life's a lot more fun when it's the
exactly.
magic is, and the magic may just be in my mind, but hey, I really like it.
Yeah, it's a good hot tub for sure.
It's a really good hot tub in here.
Yeah. Cool. That was one of our best synchronicity bits. I love it.
Yeah, really good.
Cool. Well, next, do you feel complete? Anything else you want to share there with synchronicities?
I think I'm caught up on them. There's little ones, but they're not even dumplings. They're like, there's a lot of these. I think of someone shows up. That's regular now. That's becoming like air.
Yeah.
And I have been practicing.
This is a great, like air is with the monks.
Yeah, it's becoming like air.
That's good shit. Yeah.
And so I don't want to, unfortunately, the human mind, while we're pattern seeking meaning, assigning meaning machines, we also can become complacent and we can forget that there's magic in these things and we start to think it's mundane, which I don't want to do.
Totally.
But I do keep a journal that every time one of these things happens, I also run little experiments where while I'm practicing my mindful exercises, sometimes I will visualize things and then see if what happens, if anything, coming from that. And that's been yielding some interesting coincidences.
Cool.
But nothing major yet.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest ones.
Yeah, those are some good ones. Cool. So next, I mean, the name of the show. So Reframes, we'll talk. We'll get deeper on maybe each of our individual ones, but yeah, the past lenses that we've
what have we
been
tried
gifted.
on?
Yeah, anything for you that's come up?
Yeah, I keep going back to Lee's Reframe.
Yeah.
I keep mulling it over, and I realized there's something about it that makes me uncomfortable, and it's I like to do nice things for people without any expectation of reward.
Yeah.
And so hearing from somebody that I changed their life or I impacted their life makes me uncomfortable. And so my reframe is now around acceptance as a gift. I don't have to be confronted by it. I think my ego struggles with it because it doesn't want to start feeling that that's somehow important, or it was the reason why I did it. And so
Why is that? Why is that so important to you?
Because I think, like, for example, charitable giving, when you give for charity, you should never expect anything in return. When you're giving someone a gift, which is not charity, it's just a gift or whatever it is that you're doing, you should always do it from a pureness of heart with no sort of reciprocity in mind. And when I give people gifts, it's my love language, and it comes from my heart. And it means nothing other than I care about you and I love you, and I'm a very generous person.
Yeah.
And
you are.
I can afford to be generous.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm overly generous, and sometimes people apply meaning to it.
Yeah.
Or they think that it's motivated. I have no motivations, zero.
Yeah.
And so when people come back and tell me this thing that you did improved my life, or this thing that you did changed my life, and I'm not even talking about gifts, I'm talking about maybe it was an action I did or something that I said, I can't accept those things back as a gift. I can't accept the feedback. So the thing that helped Lee, that picked him up off the ground, is actually something I struggle with.
Yeah.
For him, it saved him.
It was superpower. Yeah, it was like gasoline that lit him alive.
Because he needed it.
Lit his
he was
flame.
so
Yeah.
empty. He was so empty at the time that he needed that spark. He needed it. And so I understand it. And I really wish that I could accept it in the ways that he did.
Yeah, totally.
And use it as fuel to do more, to use it as fuel to be better, without feeling like I'm being self-aggrandizing or patting my own back, or like, so the ego struggle there is real with me. And so I feel like I've made a breakthrough because I've really been thinking about it. I've had a few people come to me and say, Cyan, this, that, and another really helped me. Recently, I had a guy ask if I could meet his daughter because he said, my daughter needs a role model like you. And I was like, why on earth me? I still have this sort of like imposter syndrome, like, why me?
Yeah.
And he said, well, there's just not a lot of female people walking around in the world behaving like you. And I think my daughter is a lot like you and doesn't have anyone to look up to.
Yeah.
And she might benefit from meeting you. And so, and again, I've noticed a trend over the last couple of years as my profile kind of raises a little bit. I'm getting more and more of these introductions of please meet my daughter, my sister. They're almost all female who look across the sea of people who have influence or have done things, and they're not finding themselves there. They're not seeing themselves in the mirror. But then they see me and they're like, I'm more like her. And so there's a responsibility that comes with it. And this would get me up off the floor if I was on the floor.
Yeah.
It would spark me if I needed a spark. But I just have to figure out how to love myself enough to accept it.
That was what I was going to ask. What is preventing you from accepting? Because I
Well, that's
get
a big question, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one that I'm exploring, which is why can't I just accept?
Yeah.
If somebody just says thank you,
Yeah.
that's enough for me. And if they don't say thank you, it's enough. Because again, once I give it, it's gone. I don't have any expectation of a thank you, of a nod, of an acknowledgement. It really doesn't matter to me because the thing I wanted to do was give it.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think it's not gracious of me to hear and accept the response.
Yeah. Are you open to exploring
Yeah,
this piece?
I am.
Okay.
Please, can you dig in?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it deeply resonates with my essence and my being. So that I also am someone who struggles deeply with
You give
receiving
very
and
freely.
receiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my curiosity is, I get the intent that you were sharing before of not expecting anything. That makes sense. And I think you achieve that because that source is you, right? Your source is, I'm not expecting anything. I felt that was most alive in me. And that's what I wanted to give to you. So I almost want to separate that micro experience from this experience of someone else conveying it back. Yes, they're connected, but separate things. So what is it about someone, what is it about someone telling you, complimenting or conveying to you the impact, is it that is hard for you to accept? What is the blocker, if you might know?
I think what Lee unearthed in his reframe is that I have this big blocker in general, which is tied to a bigger problem, which is, if you've noticed, like when people ask me about my accomplishments, I don't like to talk about them.
Yeah.
And because all of a sudden the spotlight is on me. I don't like the spotlight being on me, which is weird because we're doing the podcast. But when the spotlight is on me and they're like, so Cyan, tell me about yourself or what your accomplishments are, I clam up. And you've seen it happen over and over again. Yeah. Sometimes I'll ask someone else, I'm like, be my wingman here. Tell them all about me. Yeah. Because I've done some great things, but I don't like to sit around and brag. I don't want to feel like, I don't know. I don't know really what it is, but it's all rooted in the same thing where all of a sudden the spotlight is kind of reflected back on me and I don't like to be in that light.
Yeah. Don't like to be in the light.
And so I retreat to the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, this isn't about me. The gift was for you. Like I wasn't doing it for any reason.
Yeah.
And maybe there's this fear that people think that I'm doing something for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, maybe it's really selfish of me to want to give people things without them saying anything.
Yeah,
I've moved to more anonymous stuff. I've actually started doing more anonymous, secretive giving.
Yeah.
And I get the same thrill from it without because nobody knows who does it, right? And there's something really special about that. And so I do this mischievous giving that I really like.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you have any suggestions or if the audience has suggestions, but I would really love to learn.
Yeah.
Because I think this would be so freeing for me.
Yeah.
To be able to look someone in the eye and say, I'm glad that you had that experience.
Yeah, totally.
And I hoped that you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it was meaningful for me to give it to you and for you to accept it. And, but I can't give them that voice. For some reason, I deny it. And it must feel bad for them because they're just like, I can't tell her anything.
Well, I want to separate out is any negative intent, or you said it was selfish. I want to separate out all the negative talk in this. I want to normalize, like, you are coming from good intention. They're coming from good intention. I don't want you to feel shame or
there's some kind of weird shame
or blame
there's
from
something.
Not being able to do it. I don't know fully what is happening in sort of your psyche. I think I have hypotheses, but I can only share from obviously me. When I experience this, I think I'm doing my own journey, and I think most of it comes from what are some of my core foundational beliefs and my fears and limiting beliefs. And I think one of my fears and limiting beliefs is I believe in my core I'm unlovable, or I need to do things to earn love. And this is not. This is more of an irrational belief. I grew up in a family filled with love, etc. But to give you that would be, if one of my core beliefs is I'm unlovable and unworthy of receiving love unless I have earned it in some way or gotten approval in some way, then a lot of my actions become about earning, like only when I do something will I earn. I'm not saying this for you. Maybe when I do things, then I will create a pathway to receive and to earn the love or approval. And what I quickly learned then is that the source of that is a pretty, like, it's diesel. It's burning diesel instead of EV right? So it's when I think in that way, no matter how many things that I do, it won't make me feel more. It won't make me feel, actually, if I don't love myself, I don't think I'm worthy. No matter how many dishes that I cook for my friends, like I'll make pork belly, like, oh, I'm going to cook pork belly for my in-laws to earn their love. No matter how much I do, I'm never, if I don't fully believe it myself, that transaction is not complete. And I don't want them to say anything. I'm like, I just want you to be happy, and then don't tell me that you're happy, but just be happy.
Just be happy.
Just be happy. Just eat this. I know this is delicious. Don't tell me this is delicious.
Right.
And why I share this is it creates an interesting loop, because I then find a very hard time to believe when they're saying it back. Oh, thank you so much for making this, or this meal changed my life. This is the best meal of my life, you know? And in Chinese culture, you literally are taught to say no, no, no. Anytime anyone gives you a compliment in Chinese culture, it's like, no, no, no. And then you give them a reason why, like, they're great or something. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a rejection. So it's ingrained in my culture. And I think this cycle is like, I really wish, I do believe if I can do my work, if it's anchored in my own worthiness and love, if I'm anchored in I love myself, I cook this pork belly for you, not because to earn your love. I know you're giving me your love. Trust is given versus trust is earned. I'm making you this pork belly because I'm fully resourced with my own love and worthiness. I love you. So I want to give you this pork belly. And then I believe that coming back, they say, thank you so much. I love you. This is delicious. Changed my life. I'll be like, great. I accept that. So that's the journey I'm on, because I have, when they say it back to me right now, because it's hard for me to love myself sometimes, or sometimes often, it's hard for me to believe when someone else tells me, I love you. And that's what they're saying. They're saying, I love you. Thank you. You changed my life. I love you. And that's my journey that I'm on. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of the small piece.
I wonder if our journeys are similar in some way. I've never framed it as people saying, I love you. And if I'm uncomfortable with that.
Yeah. So I'm not projecting on you.
I'll think about it.
I'm giving you a flavor, but it's someone telling me they've been impacted by me. I get very like, okay, cool. Like, great. I never, that was maybe I intended, but thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. And what's funny is it's so important for me to go back in time and thank every single person that's ever helped me.
Yeah.
And so I do this, but for some reason, you know, and I'm hoping that they'll be receptive to listening to me. And it's such a gift when they do that I know what's on the other side of this conversation. Totally. And for whatever reason, I just clam up and I don't give them the opportunity. Yeah. I don't know. That must not feel good to them.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I mean, yeah, I was use a corollary. I was helping a friend. She was in her head about like showing up big. A friend of hers, she's a designer. A friend of hers had introduced her to another friend to maybe hire her. And she was feeling all this fear around like, oh my God, he introduced me to this person. I'm going to mess up. I'm not good enough. All the classic, mini stories we tell ourselves. And I was like, what if, rather than thinking like, oh, I'm going to make this guy look bad, right? Like you being your authentic, amazing self and getting hired and showing him that your epicness as a designer, you're creating him an opportunity to look good, right? You're creating him an opportunity to be like, wow, I connect you with this amazing person, believe in yourself, you're this amazing person, and then that exude that energy versus I'm going to let this person down. So in the corollary, in some ways, it's like, I don't want you to think it this way, but it's you, rather than it being like, what is going on, you being like, this is just this person sharing their love with me. How do I receive it as best I can? Because all they're trying to do is connect, separating out from any of the, other things that are going on. That could be an interesting thought experiment, if that makes sense.
Definitely could.
Yeah. Yeah. Thinking about it, maybe it is someone being like, yeah, I love you. Maybe as simple as that. What if that was like the reframe?
Yeah. This reframe of Lee's has really thrown me.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how much it's impacted me because I haven't been able to try it on. Yeah. And every time an opportunity has come up where someone has tried to give me positive feedback like he got, I clam up. Yeah. And I realized he figured out somehow
to channel it
by picking that reframe.
Yeah. Wow.
To really, really, I didn't expect our reframes to do this. I thought we would just try them on, kind of like clothes, and and see if they fit or they didn't fit.
Take a few pictures, and we're good.
This one just created a lot of mental friction. I was like, whoa, I can't try that one on. That one's really tough for me. And I didn't realize how tough it would be, but it's been really tough. But that means it's a growth edge. It means it's a place I need to focus attention on and to solve.
What are you committed to trying out? Is there anything you're committed to? Maybe is my adjustment.
Well, I tried in a call that I had yesterday where the man I was talking about his daughter, and then he was giving me some praise about why he wanted her to meet me. And I said I would love to meet her. Thank you very much. Why am I, why do you think I'm a role model? And I went into it with doubt, but then at the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm going to accept that. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to accept that I have a place in this world where I could set an example for others. And I could be a role model that I can even use that word.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like saying I have fans, but I have fans.
Yeah.
I don't like saying I'm a role model. I don't like saying, it's like someone going around being a self-aggrandizing guru, saying I'm a guru.
You don't like it, or do you think you don't believe it? Or you believe it, but you don't need to make it
I don't believe it, and I don't like it.
Oh, wow.
So the part of it is, I don't think they're lying to me. I mean, I don't want them to think that either. I just, for some reason, reject it and can't accept it inside of me. There's some kind of thing that's like, no, like it hurts. It hurts to hear it. And I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
I got to get to the bottom of that. Because I actually think if I were to figure it out, there's probably some childhood trauma. There's probably something that happened where maybe somebody gave me feedback and they didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Or there's some sort of imposter syndrome or some sort of disbelief in it.
Yeah.
Or mostly it always comes back to, do they think that I did this for a reason?
Oh, I totally resonate across all boards with what you're saying. Yeah. I struggle with the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the same, maybe different, but yeah. What do you think is possible for you if you were to figure it out? What would you feel? What's possible? If you maybe figured out what that
Any
source
time
was.
that you can get rid of friction in your life, they're little road bumps. Life just becomes a lot smoother when you can figure it out. So, I think that going back to Bhutan, one of the things that they aim for in Buddhism is to relieve your own suffering, but also to take suffering from others. Now, you can cause harm in lots of ways, and you're supposed to do no harm.
Yeah.
You can think you're doing a good thing for someone, and it turns out you've done a bad thing, right? And so, and I think a lot of people out there are transactional, and I'm just not one of those people. And so it's difficult for me when I feel I go on the defense immediately when I get the feedback, because I'm like, uh-oh, here it comes. They're going to think something. Because some people, maybe that's what it is. Maybe some people in my life have thought that, and that deeply hurt. And so and it's hard because I'm in a position where I have financial resources and I like to give gifts. And I like to do things for people and give people experiences and, things that they otherwise wouldn't do for themselves.
Like Santa Claus sometimes.
I'm kind of like Santa Claus. Even at Founders Fund, they gave me the nickname Cyanta.
Oh, no way.
That's what Trey Stevens calls me, Cyanta.
Oh, that's a good one.
And because I hear that somebody wants something, and I'm like, gosh, I could do that for them. I could be the person to make this happen. And it brings me such joy. And in a sense, I guess it's kind of very selfish because it brings me so much joy to make these dreams come true and to do things for people.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's just opening a door, introducing somebody to somebody or giving somebody some advice or telling them something at just the right time.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, whatever comes back out of it, I just can't handle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's something to inspect. I really thank Lee for this because I learned a lot from his reframe about him, but also about myself.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if anyone else did.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear if people experience the same thing. That's powerful. Yeah.
And then I don't know if you want to go into that one, but I have notes on Andrew's and also Neil's.
Yeah. One final bit to capture what I see possible for you if you were to figure it out and not that, then you don't need to figure, if you get to have the opportunity to explore, would be connection. I think I experience you as someone who already connects deeply with people. People resonate with you. And if you were to figure out some of the sources behind why there's this pulling away when people are conveying this piece, making this bid for connection, I see even deeper connection with you and the humans in the world that I know you love. So I think that to me is what's most alive in me when I think about this, this journey that you're on. So, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd love to hear. Mine is around Neil, but do you want to, what were you going to share?
Well,
Neil's Reframe.
Andrew's just do stuff. I feel like we're embodying that with this podcast.
Yeah. And you wrote, I want to say that there was $1,000 on the line. You wrote your book draft.
I did. I wrote an outline.
The book outline.
Yeah,
sorry,
I wrote
draft.
the book outline and I sent it to him.
Yeah.
And he wrote back some really amazing notes.
Yeah.
And then I endeavored to do some writing in Bhutan, but unfortunately, we would wake up in the morning and go until we literally were passing out at night. I mean, there was each event that we did during the day could have been an event all by itself.
Yeah.
And we would do 4 of those.
Yeah.
With very little breaks.
Yeah.
So writing was just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I wish that I were a professional writer where I could just turn it on and turn it off at will, but I cannot do that yet.
Yeah.
So that's my next thing. I put it on my dice rolling thing for later, which is to write a chapter of the book.
Nice.
On that list in the outline.
Yeah.
And, I have about half a book's worth of content already written. It's just I'm not sure about the order that it's all in. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of content that already to use.
Yeah.
And then Neil really helped me, just meeting him helped me figure out potentially where the book even starts.
Yeah. That
which
was amazing.
Is about this painting that I shared with you called The Song of the Lark.
Yeah.
And then from that, I actually figured out the name of the book. So I'd been calling it, interestingly, I called it Wrong for a long time.
Which was a weird
coincidence with Neil Stephenson. And then I changed it to Someday I Am because I noticed a commonality in all of the things in my life that magically kind of weirdly came true, started with this weird incantation, which is Someday I Am. And then I realized, no, I'm going to call it The Gleaner. And The Gleaner is because, it's about this painting that involves a gleaner called The Song of the Lark. And what I see in myself in that painting. And so Neil Stephenson's You're Wrong, there's interesting little synchronicity coincidence on that one. So when I was in Bhutan, I was asked as a speaker, because I was a speaker on this trip, to spend, and I would have done this anyway because I really love this group of people, but they asked me to spend time with all of the guests on the trip. So part of being on one of these trips is you get to not only watch lectures, but you get to hang out with the people giving talks. And many of the people on the trip could give their own talks. They're all amazing. And so I saw this table of people, and it had 4 of the people on my list I hadn't seen yet. So I went over there and sat down, and one of the things they were talking about is all the things in the world we've been wrong about. And one of them was, potentially where the coronavirus, where it was sourced. And recently there's been some light shed on that. And there was a lot of people who were kicked off social media, were hushed, were banned for questioning where it came from or even speaking about it.
Yeah.
They were accused of being racist, etc. And so, then it went around the table for other things, like what other things have we been wrong about? And out of it, I registered the domain sorrycon.com. So sorrycon. And the sorrycon. And the tagline is, we got it wrong. Sorry, Con, we got it wrong. And the idea is that you have a full day of people who come in and apologize and admit they were wrong.
Wow.
And I thought,
that's beautiful.
If I can somehow put this together, I think it would be a fun thing. Maybe you and I could collaborate on it.
Yeah. Put it into our experience.
I thought maybe Neil Stephenson might want to come and talk about fallibility in his blog, Wrong. And I think what we're sensing in the sort of subconscious or, universal subconscious of the world, is that people are craving this admission of wrongness.
Totally.
And these apologies.
Totally.
And so I think if we created a container for this, I registered the domain, and there was already a doctor there that said, I would love to get up and talk about medical wrongs, then this could be a step in the right direction of teaching people.
Totally.
How do you say I'm sorry?
Yeah. It's hard.
And it's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
But we've got to teach people how to be wrong.
How to be wrong.
How to be wrong. So that's another weird coincidence.
Beautiful.
But anyway, your Neil Stevenson one.
Well, I want to honor. I think that's really powerful. What's alive for me there is, I think, two things. One is the mindset of being wrong. So there is that rather than making an excuse, putting on someone else or avoiding it, there is the mindset of being wrong. And you have the second step, which is when one is wrong, the process, the technique of how do you own it? How do you say I'm sorry? How can you be accountable? How do you recycle it? I mean, it's recycling, right? It's like, if we view it as a plastic bottle, it's just, it is, something happened. How do you recycle it and get it out versus it being something that festers within you and within maybe the people impacted? Yeah. More importantly, within yourself.
Imagine if all the leaders of this world got up and admitted the things they were wrong about. Yeah. Be pretty great. Yeah. Be pretty great.
Lowers the burden of perfectionism.
Right. Yeah. That's the other thing. We do strive. So we didn't talk about that in the Neil Stevenson thing, but we strive for this perfectionism that is unattainable. Yeah. We punish people for a dark moment in their life. Yeah, totally. Where they did the wrong thing in 1 minute. Yeah. And decide that the totality of their life is somehow totally diminished because they made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that line that I've heard of imagine the worst thing that you ever done in your life and just imagine you just got caught for that. Well, sometimes for some of these people, again, it doesn't condone it. It's not allowed. It's not that it's okay. It's just for some people, they've gotten caught in this and then that is their permanent. It's the brand.
Yeah, it's a brand. Ends up on their Wikipedia page and then they're done.
Yeah. Sorry, Con.
Sorry, Con. Got it wrong.
Yeah, love it. Wow. My Neil Stevenson thing is a slight riff, but is also, it's like for me, the reframe links to my main reframe is what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong is all the people that I view as distrusting, that I'm distrustful of. I think that to me is what I practice. I was like, how I have this strong sense of needing to believing in my rightness. And it's out of creating safety. And I think I definitely have this experience of starting with skepticism and out of fear of distrust versus full trust. So in a cultural sense, it's trust is earned versus trust is given. So the lens I practice on myself, it was anchored on what if I was wrong with this huge thing about how I experience life with or life through. So what if rather than needing to see someone, maybe they're the ones who are gentle or kind or funny to me first, or they're the ones who are smile, whatever it is, to then feel like I can trust them. What if I'm wrong about distrusting them? And what if I should just start with trust and be more trusting? What if everybody that I met, I should just trust and be okay with the ramifications? And some of that is inspired by you. You talk in this. You are one of the people who starts with trust first. And it was definitely really hard because there would just be these moments. Maybe I have like some RBF, resting bitch face or whatever it is with some people. Oh, okay, got to, like smile or something. There were a lot of moments where I had to catch myself being like, wow, I'm not present, or I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the person who's in front of me. But then the most weird things started happening when I started believing, when I started starting from a place of trust. You can replace trust with love. Man, I mean, again, I feel like this is very scientistian. Scientific. Yeah, my Uber and Lyft drivers just, I don't know. Not that you always need to talk to you always need to have conversations. And the conversations, my lifts just started getting crazy and magical. I talked about the Golden State Warriors' odds against the Rockets. And they would, again, it's back and forth. They'd be the ones initiating, and they felt my energy, and they felt that I trusted them.
Yeah.
And then we talked all the way across the Golden Gate Bridge. It was the best 35 minutes of sports talk I'd had in a while. I was in the farmer's market looking at sugar snap peas, and I was like inspecting, like, what's the best way to, how do you know what's a good sugar snap pea and a bad sugar snap pea? And I, like, rather than waiting for the person next to me to ask me, I was like, you know what, like, like, what's the best way? Hey, like, and she was like, you know what? I was just going to ask you the same thing. And then we talked for 15 minutes. Again, I'm not, interviewing her for a product marketing job, It's, we just had a 15-minute exchange about snap peas and then how to examine other vegetables. And we moved on. And she felt the trust that I had. And she gave me trust back. And that's been yesterday at the same brunch place. Again, maybe this is my baby, me carrying a baby, people trust me. But a woman walked across the restaurant to me with her bottle warmer and was like, hey, I saw you carrying this bottle warmer, this big one. Here's the mobile size. And let me give you the brand and this thing.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, my husband thinks I'm crazy, but I just felt drawn to you and like just how you were. And I just want to share this with you. And again, maybe I was carrying a child and they're like having empathy, but there was something about me showing up with trust that, I don't know, some things are weird. Even ordering the matcha before, just before we ordered a matcha, I showed at the gluten-free bakery we were just at. I was like, excuse me, sorry, I forgot to order this. Do you mind if I just put in a matcha order? I forgot. It's really busy. I know you're busy whenever you're ready. And he kind of gave it to me. And he basically was like, don't worry about it. Just like, I don't know. Don't even worry about paying for it. Again, maybe that was something else, but maybe the way I showed up, I ended up paying for it. But I was like, wait, I had before pre-reframe playfulness, Mike, if you will, that would never have happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't this trust coming back and forth. We talked about life being rigged in our favor. Like that never happens. I mean, that's sort of
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. So that's my bit. So starting with trust first.
So I'm going to warn you what the downside is.
Yeah, tell me.
Because
yeah,
if I'm going to pat myself on the back, I guess. But I'm a very trusting person, as
yes,
you know.
you are. Yeah.
And I'm a trust given, not trust earned.
Yeah.
Approach to life. And for the most part, it's been fantastic and beautiful.
Yeah.
I bake in that some percentage of people are going to violate that trust and not rise to it. Mm-hmm. But I have found that when you give people trust, I think a lot of people don't get it so freely. It's actually kind of a rare gift.
Yeah.
That they want to rise to it. Mm-hmm. And they want to be deserving of it. And they want to show the world that they are trustworthy. And so I've seen, this goes back to forgiveness and going back to being wrong and apologizing and all of these things. I don't Google search somebody before I meet them. I like to see how they present themselves, and I extend trust to them immediately. And let's just say that someone's had a hard life, or they've had a criminal background, or they've done something wrong. And if they see love in my face and acceptance and trust, that's something they haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And interestingly, they usually will rise to meet it. And so in a sense, we're being kind. And if you're a Christian, it's a Christian value. But it's just a good human thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think, but it does come with this thing where sometimes you're going to give someone trust and they're really going to violate you. And when that happens, I recommend that you look at it and you say, well, 99% of the time this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
There's going to be a small amount, an almost statistically insignificant amount of this downside that's going to happen to you. And what you realize is that people mostly are good.
Yeah.
Especially if you set up the expectation from the very beginning that they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Because people want love more than anything and connection. And then if you're told constantly that you're bad or you do bad things, then you're just like, well, why not? I just do bad things because that's what's expected of me.
Yeah.
But I found that people have really, really shown me the full range of who they are. And also some people still do things and I'm like, come on now.
Yeah.
and we'll have a talk about it, and that'll be the end of that. But for the most part, I try to always meet someone as they are the highest version on a pillar they can possibly be when I meet them.
Yeah.
And, every now and then they fall off that pillar. You probably shouldn't put people on pillars anyway, but every now and then they will fall off.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get hurt, but I always come back and say, you know what? I would rather live this life of abundance and trust and love for everyone and openness for everyone and deal with the occasional mishap and just bake it into the cost of living.
Totally. Yeah. The price, there's a term, price of admission. It's kind of the price of admission of default of love is given.
I can't wait to see where this goes for you.
Yeah.
Like how many more doors this opens, like what kind of abundance comes into your life.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
What kind of random people you're going to meet.
Yeah. And it's back to, but it all links to, if you believe in the universe is just throwing people at you, then trusting in the universe, trusting in, it's just me leaning in. And we talked about energy. It's just not worth,
it's not
me
worth it.
Distrusting is not energy that serves me. Me distrusting, this person is going to steal my idea and run away with it. Or, this person is going to do this. It doesn't really, doesn't serve me. And
sometimes people will steal your idea and run away with it because maybe we didn't have the willpower to act on it fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. And in the end, everything that I am back to mirrors, everything that I am distrusting of is just is a fear or limiting belief that I have. So I'm like, okay, you're exactly right. It's like if I truly believe self-love, that I am one of one, irreplaceable, you're one of one, irreplaceable, everyone is irreplaceable. I just believe in myself. Yeah. So.
Well, the other thing is you make yourself like a steel house.
Yes.
To where it's not that you're you're not approachable. It's just that these types of things, when they do something untrustworthy, cannot affect you.
Totally. Yeah.
Where you just look at them with love and you just say, wow, that was an unfortunate choice.
Yes, exactly.
That you made.
Totally.
And here are the boundaries, and you cross the boundary.
Totally.
And so that's the thing I've been working on, is boundary setting and what happens when someone crosses it.
Yeah.
Goes to a really interesting quote that I heard one time, which is, unstated boundaries are future resentments.
Yeah.
So if someone crosses your boundary and you didn't tell them there was one there, it's kind of like an invisible electric fence.
Yeah. Or a mine.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
It's a mine.
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of state them.
Yeah, you need agreements first. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So high trust, no boundaries is a recipe for disaster.
Totally.
So I've been working on the boundaries part. So I think, making sure that if somebody feels like they destroyed your trust, you have to check with yourself first to say, did I set a boundary?
Yeah.
Is this a well understood sort of moral thing that this person violated? Or is it because I didn't state that they went, this is too far?
Yeah. Totally. Cool.
Yeah.
It's a good bit. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you feel complete with this? Well, we have to finish with, give us the context on Bhutan. You've shared it.
Oh, yeah.
You've shared it. Maybe,
I had a reframe in Bhutan.
Yeah, let's talk about the reframe and then give us the context on the trip.
I'm sure there's going to be more reframes that are going to come.
Yeah.
But the biggest one that I got was, again, from Pema. And he said, something that he likes to do and that a lot of Buddhists do, especially in Bhutan, is when they greet you, they say, how is your kindness today? Wow. And I thought about this, and it works really well there because everybody there practices kindness. But it's not so here in the United States. And so if I were to come up to someone here and say, how's your kindness today? They would immediately, their ego would step in and be like, does she think I'm unkind?
Yeah.
Is she asking me to check myself?
Oh, interesting.
Like, what is she asking? But the way that they mean it is, in the morning, if you are a practicing Buddhist who really keeps up with your practice, in the morning you think about all the kind things that you wish to accomplish in the world and in your life, and what kind of a kind person you want to be, and how you're going to carry yourself throughout the day, and how you're going to practice mindfulness so that you have the right thoughts, the right speech, the right actions. And at the end of the day, you do it again and you reflect on what you were not kind about. And it could be, I was in traffic and I was annoyed at this person crossing the crosswalk, and so I thought this bad thing about them. And in Bhutan, that's a karmic sort of aggression.
Yeah.
And it will come back on you, and it compounds. And so they actively try their hardest to live a very kind life that is very respectful of all sentient beings, including ants. And so I really loved Pema asking me that question. And, you know, he's like, how's your kindness today? And then that's, in the way he said it, it's just so sweet. And it's basically a chance and an opportunity for you to reflect if you've been kind. And I don't know how to ask this question in the West to where it has
What's
the same
the
impact.
definition of kindness?
So somebody else asked me that this morning. Kindness, I think, can come in all kinds of forms, but the way that I decided to define it for me, and I don't know if this is universal, is not doing harm. Now,
Wow.
you can do something kind for someone, or you think it's kind, and you can actually cause harm. Right? So you could give somebody $5,000, right? Because you're like, I'm going to give you $5,000.
Yeah.
And then let's say they go and spend it on something very harmful. Did you actually do something kind, or did you enable harm?
Wow. Yeah.
So it's a really thin line, kindness. And so I think you have to just sort of, sometimes non-action is the kindest thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things they practice a lot is non-action. And another thing that he said that was really powerful was you are hurting people when you listen to them gossip. I thought that was interesting. He said, if I hear people being unkind and gossiping about somebody, I just remove myself from the situation. I just walk away.
Totally.
Because my participation enables unkindness.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I noticed that when people started doing that kind of stuff on the tour, he started whistling and singing. Or he'd say, Om Mani Padme Om, you know, and like do his chants. And he has lots of other different chants. That's just the most popular one. But, you know, I noticed that he would immediately remove himself and keep himself protected so that he didn't contribute to that energy.
Yeah.
So he would not participate in any negative energy at any given time. Refuses to.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really beautiful. So my biggest reframe that comes out of Baton is something that a monk told me. He said, and Pema told me, which is there are 3, I don't know what you call them, but tenets of Buddhism out of the 5 that I embody, which is kindness, generosity, and I think like respect or something like that. But I'm lacking discipline as my next step. And I went there knowing that, you know, I was like, I need to meditate at a regular interval. I need to exercise every day. This whole 2 times a week thing isn't working out. And so I need to develop a practice where I do something every day. And so I don't know exactly how to distill this reframe. I don't know if you have any ideas, but I just thought it was really interesting when instead of saying, how are you doing? Is there a question we could ask each other that's Western-ish that reminds people how to be a better person rather than saying, how are you doing, which we give sort of a BS answer to.
Yeah. Or what good did you do today is also not...
No, that's not, you can't do that either. You know, I like
So
what's alive in you today is probably the
Yeah.
closest. What's
Yeah.
alive in you today.
Yeah. What was the kind... It's how are you kind today? Or how are you plan on being kind today?
In the morning, they ask themselves sort of, how am I going to show up in the world and how am I going to be kind?
How am I going to be kind? Oh.
You know, what things did I learn last night before I went to bed that I need to integrate today? So when this person does something that's annoying, am I going to be annoyed?
Yeah.
Am I going to identify with the feeling of being annoyed? So the other thing they try to get rid of is this concept of the word I. I am.
Oh, interesting.
So to get rid of the association and the embodiment of that feeling being defining for you.
Wow.
So instead of saying I am annoyed, they say annoyed is visiting me.
Annoyed is visiting me.
Annoyed is here.
Yeah.
Annoyed is transient and annoyed is impermanent. I am upset turns into there's some upset here. Something is upsetting. But I am not upset.
Yeah.
And that allows you to deal with the outside circumstances that might be making you those things.
Yeah. Or the inside circumstances.
The other thing that Pema did that was really remarkable is these trips to Bhutan are not for everybody. They're hard.
Yeah.
This is a developing country in which you're not going to the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
You're going to be eating food that is wildly different than anything you've ever had. There's a high butter diet there. A lot of fat.
I like butter.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to really, they serve it as tea, like liquid butter tea.
Oh, man.
And so you've got to get used to this environment that's really challenging. You're in vans going through the Himalayas. You're not sleeping well. It's going to wear down some people.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were some people on this trip that had a harder time than others and had emotional outbursts because of it.
Yeah.
And their first reaction was like, wow, I'm such a bitch. I'm a terrible person. And I actually talked to a couple of them and said, no, never use that kind of words about yourself. And they're like, but everybody thinks. And I'm like, no one thinks about it anymore. You're the only one thinking about it. And it's also not the totality of your existence. You had a bad moment. It doesn't make you bad. And one of the things I really loved about Pema is he gave these people more attention than everyone else. Because he said the people that everyone does turn their back on or does give less attention to is the one that he's going to give love to.
It's really powerful.
They're really powerful.
Yeah.
We can all learn a lot from someone like Pema.
Yeah, you were really moved by him.
Very moved.
It's amazing.
He's my new Hierophant.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. 5.
5.
I'm chewing on this. Yeah, I don't know. I like the maybe the broad reframe is just how do you less prescriptive, but what does it look like to not have a default, move away from a default question, a default opening question, because it might mean something. Other people might want to ask a different thing. I do like what's alive for you right now. I do think, I mean, this is linked to the program Lee and I are doing. There's a question that's asked, like, what are you committed to today? Like, what are you committed? What are you committed to being today? Not doing. What are you committed? So I'm committed to being disciplined. I'm committed to being authentic. There's a corollary in my brain that you're talking about, which is how do you separate I am blank, the separate. Yeah. But I think even this phrasing, maybe the proposal I put on the table is, what are you committed to being today there's temporary. You're not committed to this forever. There's an invitation of like, where do you want your source to be today? And it's a little less like, how are you doing? You can't say good. Who would say I'm committed to being good? Let's test this out. What are you committed to being for the rest of the day today? What would you say?
Calm.
Yeah.
Even keel, calm.
Yeah.
Happy, content.
Yeah.
I do think, okay, that's the reframe. I think the reframe is, can we get rid of the usual greetings that we give one another?
No default. No default greetings. Yeah. My friend Kristen calls these press play answers. And no questions that give you press play and then it says good, great. Like no questions that allow for press play.
Without judgment, though. I don't want to judge people who still do it because it's a mechanical behavior.
Yeah.
But I think it's an opportunity for us.
Totally.
When someone says, how are you doing?
I like that.
You can say, I'm fine. And then you turn around and say, what's alive in you?
Totally. Cool.
What's exciting you?
Yeah.
What are you worried about?
Yeah.
Things to get a little deeper with people.
Yeah.
Really fast, because sometimes I give people the true answer when they say, how are you? And I find out they don't want to know.
Totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They'll be like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm just awful today. Yeah. And then they're like, oh gosh, wow, why did I ask?
Yeah.
Then why ask it?
I know. Yeah.
So I feel like we shouldn't say it unless we mean it.
Cool.
So that's probably my reframe that I got from Pema. And I'm certainly gonna get more from him. We talk every day now.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share from Bhutan before we close out?
Well, one, it is an incredible honor to be able to go to Bhutan. And if you don't know where Bhutan is and you're listening, because I didn't when I first got invited, it borders China.
And you went on a trip with Lawrence and the Origins team to go. Yeah,
Lawrence and his wife Nancy and the Origins team. And this group, basically, the biggest question they have is what is our origin story? Like where does the universe even come from, down to cultures and everything else, and they explore the origins of everything.
Yeah.
And So they took a group of 55 people to Bataan. We started out in Bangkok, Thailand, and which was also wonderful. And I'd never been to Bangkok, and so that was also culture shock for me. Before this, the only place I'd ever been even remotely close was Hong Kong. I lived and worked in Hong Kong for a little while. But Bhutan is probably the most remote place I've ever been in my life, where they have internet access there and Wi-Fi, but it's only really available if you're local.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you've got to get into the SIM card situation. I didn't get into that situation. And
The SIM card situation. Yeah.
it's a whole SIM card situation. And so I decided, F it. I'm just going to be disconnected from the world because that's what I came here for, really, was to be disconnected from the world. So I'm apologizing, but not really.
Yeah.
And the first thing you notice is when you get off the plane. So first of all, you're landing in the Himalayas. There's only 15 pilots in the world that can make this landing. And there's specialized plane equipment. You can only go early in the morning. So we had to leave the airport, leave the airport at 3 a.m.
Wow.
So you are taking off at 5. You arrive at like 7 or 8 in the morning. And you're immediately on a tour. So you don't get to like relax and go to your hotel. You're immediately on a bus.
Yeah.
And the first stop that we had, they're greeted beautifully by these guides who have all these white scarves, and it's customary there in their tradition on any sort of major event to gift you a white scarf.
Okay.
And so each one of us got a white scarf. If you go to Hawaii, it's a lei. It's a very similar concept.
Yeah.
And it's a sign of respect. And the first thing they did was take us to a monastery with nuns. And so, they're not called monks, they're called nuns, which I thought was also interesting. And then we were served this butter tea, which is basically butter steeped in tea. And then this rice cashew situation. It's really, really good.
Okay.
And the whole thing just gave me goosebumps. I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I noticed that everybody there, when you looked at them, they had this peacefulness to them, this calmness, this quiet, this serenity, this happiness that just sort of exuded from them. And my big question, and it's still a question, but I think it's pretty true, and I haven't found anything to dissuade me from this quite yet, is are the people there really happy? Because they have this gross happiness index. And so I wanted to see for myself. And I have to say that the people there are pretty darn happy in a way that is just, you can feel it. And
what did you feel?
Just sort of a sense of joy and wonder and curiosity, just about everything. There's not an uncomfortable gaze. Like, I'm going to talk about something that, when I travel, sometimes you feel the male gaze as a female, and it feels weird. I never felt weird. I never felt unsafe. I never felt like I was going to be robbed. I never felt anything like that.
Yeah.
I felt completely comfortable and safe at all times. Yeah. And that was interesting. And then I discovered, I didn't read anything about, again, kind of like I don't Google search people. I don't read about any place before I go first too, because only thing I wanted to know was the key things, which is how to not offend people and how to get help if there's danger. And that's about it. Like, what are the key customs I need to know? Everything else, I like to immerse myself in the experience and kind of figure out with boots on the ground. And also it's an opportunity for the people I was traveling with to show me what they learned. They're like, have you heard? And that way I can be like, no, I haven't heard. Please tell me all about it. And that way they can integrate the lessons that they've learned by teaching someone else. So I really love being the student. And so I learned a lot. Because a lot of people read books, watched movies, they kind of knew what to expect, but I didn't know anything. And the nunnery was a beautiful start, and then we went to a little suspension bridge, and there's cows everywhere wandering around. We saw our first prayer wheel of many. They even have auto prayer wheels, so they have these streams, and there's prayer wheels on them, and they spin by the motion of the stream. And it's auto. We were joking around that it's an auto prayer. They have solar prayer wheels.
So much tech, so high tech, religion,
so many things.
tech-driven
tech religion. But I fell in love with the people. I mean, it's one of these things where our guides were just so incredible and so gracious and so wonderful. And to become a guide there, you have to be licensed, and you're basically a historian. It's not the easiest job to get. And so these people are highly educated. They know everything there is to know about each temple, every road we're going down, the history of the country, and they take enormous pride in it. And they're there to basically answer any question that you have.
Yeah.
And then to the locals, everybody there speaks English pretty darn well, if not perfectly. And it's because it's taught in schools there. And tourism is their number one industry. And of course, most of the people that come there that are tourists speak English. So it just became the language that they speak. So they have an interesting challenge because they have to protect their culture while relying on all these other cultures kind of invading at all times.
Yeah.
And how do you keep that in balance? But they have the most amazing craftsmanship I've ever seen. And I haven't been to India and I haven't been to Cambodia and some of the other places that people said the craftsmanship is just as beautiful and amazing. But you go and tour these schools, and these people study wood carving from the time they're 8, 10 years old.
Wow.
Sometimes people join monasteries there at age 8 by choice.
Wow.
It's just a really wildly interesting place. I'm going to be digesting it for quite a while, and I think a lot of listeners are going to start seeing pictures of people going to Bhutan because it seems like there's a wave of interest. And the reason why is in the tech industry, Bhutan is known for Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
So they built these very large Bitcoin mining data centers that are powered by hydroelectric. And they're building this thing called a mindfulness city. And the mindfulness city, which I'm going back to visit in September. I'm going to cough for a second.
Yeah.
We can edit that out.
Yeah. Keep it.
The mindfulness city, which I'm going to go back to in September, is a zone. You're just like, I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, just kidding.
Is a zone, an economic zone and a deregulated zone that people are going to be able to come into their country and they're going to issue visas for.
Wow.
Or some of their best and brightest who've gone on to Australia or other places to be educated will come back. And they're going to be able to experiment with different types of technologies and do things there to promote economic growth for the country. And then meanwhile, they're still going to protect the culture, the villages, the farmers, and everything that makes their country so unique and beautiful. Because this country did not have currency until the end of the 70s. If you think about that, they still traded rocks and cows and sheep and, it was relatively sheltered.
Cashew and rice dishes for...
Yeah, and it was really sheltered for a long time. And then when the pandemic hit and COVID-19 came about, they had to shut down the country. And you can imagine a country that relies on tourism, what it did for them.
Totally.
And so the king, who is beloved there, basically stood up and said, I have to shut the borders. We need to vaccinate. They vaccinated everybody within 48 hours, the entire country. And then he paid them some sort of UBI to exist until the pandemic was over. And so everyone there is like, wow, we have such a benevolent, amazing king. Now, it's not a full monarchy because they have a government. But at the same time, that's just it just shows what kind of leadership they have, that they feel taken care of, that they feel like they were not just left out to dry. And the government was very, very self-aware that, this would obviously be catastrophic for the country. And so I'm still learning about Bhutan. I definitely fell in love with the place. I had no idea of its existence or anything about it before this trip.
Yeah. All I know is that you and Sheil went. That's it. So
yeah, well, Sheil,
his debrief is great.
His debrief is great.
Yeah.
I was about to write my debrief,
He's a great writer.
and then I found his,
So you were
and
like,
then I
just
was
read
like,
this.
just read this one. I don't even need to write anything. Just
Totally.
read Sheil's.
Totally.
The only thing that Sheil left out was there's these necklaces that they have made out of yak cheese that looks kind of like those Smartie necklaces with the Smartie candy, but it's cheese. Oh. And you carry it and you put it underneath your clothes or whatever, and then when you want a little snack, you just chew on a piece of cheese.
I think we need to bring that to the U.S.
Right? Cheese necklaces. There's also a lot of phalluses. I don't know if he talked about all the phalluses that are there, but there's a lot of phalluses. And
a lot of phalluses.
A lot. I'm trying to think of what else he missed. He didn't miss much.
Yeah.
There was a very, I wish I knew what his Twitter profile or his X profile is because I would promote it. But
Pit Desi.
How do you spell it? P-I-T?
P-I-T-D-E, Desi, I guess. It's D-E-S-I.
D-E-S-I. P-I-T-D-E-S-I. Definitely go check it out. Search for his Bhutan thread because honestly, like he did the best job you could do. But if anyone gets a chance to go to Bhutan, do not say no, go.
Yeah. Go with Edge. Go with Edge City.
Yeah, or go with Edge City. They're accepting applications.
Cool. Well, I think this takes us. We did it. This was a meaty. Do we miss anything before we close to our dice rolls? Anything else you want to capture?
Gosh, no. I think I got everything on my list. I think it's just a dice roll now.
Yeah. Well, what is your 2? Tell me what you got.
All right. So I need help with number 2. I wrote finish a chapter of my book on Andrew Maine's list that I sent him.
Yeah. What is something you want to be disciplined? I heard discipline. That felt something that is begrudging. Is it a meditation? Do you ask Pema to send you Pema?
I think it's Pema.
Pema. Okay, Pema.
I heard people say Pema. Yeah. It's Pema.
Yeah.
Pema.
Okay. They have a meditation you should do. What would be most of service to you?
So I had a phone call with Lee today, our partner Lee, and he said that he was in this, management retreat with you, and someone on the retreat had an epiphany because they made their bed every day, and that somehow something simple like making your bed every day really changed them. So I think I'm going to adopt that. I think I'm going to make my bed every day.
Ooh, I love it. Okay. Bed making. Okay. You're going to send me a picture of your made bed. I'll be your commitment
buddy. Okay, well
we can decide on our terms.
Technically that's two. That's
not part of the dice
habits.
roll. That's not part of the roll. Don't worry.
Learning how to text is another habit.
No, just kidding.
So that's 2.
Bed making. Okay, every day for how long? Until
forever.
Forever. Okay.
Yeah, I should learn how to make my bed. I actually thought about that. I leave my bed messy every day.
Yeah.
But there's something delightful about going home and seeing your bed all made. I know.
You feel accomplished.
Yeah, you feel accomplished, and it doesn't take that long to just pull your sheet taut and put your pillows back where they belong.
So that one is just write a chapter, and the other is bed making forever.
Bed making forever. Bed making forever. Why not? So
okay, let's roll yours.
Do you have your 2?
I was gonna go. I'll let you make up mine. I'll do the same.
Oh, you want me to make up both?
No. I'll do my odd and my even. My odd will also be mine will be the official right. I am committing. Well, I need to, come clean, accountability, and then reset.
Okay.
So you gave the challenge of writing the book outline. I started but didn't finish it. The crushing wave of fear hit over. I'm recommitting. Okay. And so if I hit on it, I need to recount for you the outline of the actual chapter of the book. So not fully written chapter, but the outline of the chapter. So it would be a double. I'm doubling down. So that's my odd. Even, I'll let you make up mine.
Even. Well, what is something that you wish you had more of in your life that you don't currently have?
Time, but
time for what?
Yeah, time for what? I would say maybe it is from the joy, as you say that. Maybe it is from the joy that I had this weekend. Maybe it's a self, rather than waiting for my partner to ask for a weekend. I need to play offense and be like, you get to have another solo parenting weekend.
What have you committed to? What have you committed to one solo parenting weekend a quarter?
Okay.
At a minimum. That. I mean, obviously you can go up from there.
I love it. Okay, that's great.
All right, so that's number.
So each of them, what do you want? Odd or even? Which is odd for you?
Odd is chapter of my book, and even is make my bed every day for life.
Here we go.
All right, ready?
Big money.
8. Does that count? I mean, it wasn't flat.
Reroll. That was that. Let's just make sure it's.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
2,
10. 6, 2.
Yeah, so it's even. So make my bed every night forever.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay.
You're gonna accept that role, or are you gonna do your own?
I will.
Let's not scratch the table here.
Oh, I see.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that looks acceptable.
Okay.
All fully flat. Okay, so what am I going for?
Oh, it's not flat.
Not flat. Yeah, I like that.
We got a problem with this dice thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to fix that.
Okay. Got 5, 3, 6. That's even. 8, 6, 14. Wow. Okay.
So you're doing the parent weekend.
Solo parenting weekend, a quarter as a gift.
Quarter as a gift.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the idea